Yeah? Because it's not yours. It has to go. But if we have a faithful worker, I'm sure some of you have served faithfully and you have bought pieces of land in unbelievable prices. Nobody can believe it. You have sponsorship programs that are coming for you. People are supporting you. People are helping you do this. People are giving you sponsorships even for you or even for your children. Special favor comes for you. Where even maybe you're paying fees, there is that special lenience that comes. There is that grace that is given for you. You and your family hardly falls sick. Okay. Above all, you have your peace of mind. No stress. Same environment. Attitude towards work. Attitude is how we get the money. Plays a very big role. Indeed, we are broke by choice. Another stressing issue could be relationship strains. Whether with the partners, with the family members, or friends. This can contribute to stress. So communication breakdowns, conflicts, and unmet expectations can all create tension and strain on our mental health. Because, like I said, stress is one of the disorders. But at the same time, stress also triggers and influences and catalyzes and amplifies other disorders to become quicker. That's why it normally moves hand in hand, and we'll also see how and why. Health issues. Maybe you are dealing with your own health issues or maybe of your loved ones. This can also be stressful. I can imagine when my brother took the mother to see this doctor, and the mother is complaining on the hernia, which was on the left. The doctor didn't even touch her and just assumed it was on the right. Because we are talking about how we should be able to really check our patients. Touch. Now, this didn't even touch. Even you who is, like, when the mother came and said, is that doctor real? Did he understand my condition? Even him, he was also feeling the pain. He was also feeling the frustration. You see? But even like maybe you are here, but your parents, maybe your siblings or your loved ones, wherever they are struggling with eternal illnesses. It can be stressful for even us who are here. And it affects us as well. Time management. Many times we complain that we are too busy. We don't have time. Too busy. We don't have time. And we fail to balance this. Because actually, it could be that time is one of the things that is making us uncomfortable, leading us to stress and frustration. So balancing this work, family, social commitments, and personal time can feel like an impossible task at times. Some of you work in some critical departments where without you nothing moves. And therefore, sometimes we are overwhelmed. Some of you could be in the theater for many hours. By the time you come out, you're like, okay, God, thank you for the grace. And then by the time you reach home, you are worn out and tired. Even when children want to come, Daddy, please. You can't have time for yourself. You know, it is frustrating. Time is also an issue here. Uncertainty and change. You see, even some of you, wherever you are in your department, if one day even after here, when you go back tomorrow, you reach your duty station, then they say, welcome back, but we have transferred you. You're going to this other location. We normally have fears because we have uncertainty and change that is coming. So how are we going to manage this? Will they accept me there? How are the people there? That's why I'm even convinced some of you when they say, today you are transferred to Karamoja, you say, God forbid. I'm not going. Because of the uncertainty. How will life be there? Karamojongs, I hear. But you don't even get the truth. You just go with, I heard. Or you will hear that now you are transferred to Arua, West Nile. Say, that place is far. That alone I can't go there. It is far. First of all, those people eat enyasa. We don't, here for us we eat kalo. So here we eat matoke. There's life, no. Because of change, many of us are rigid. That's why, wait, I'm not a politician. You wait very soon from now. No change. Our man, no change. You will be hearing those words. Why? People don't want to change. Even us here, we don't want to change. But if there's an opportunity for even us to change, this is a good change, moreover, but it comes with uncertainty and change. And this can also be a stressing thing for us. Self-imposed pressure. Now, every 31st of every year, we write long lists. Even this year, 2024, many of us, we had put ourselves and given ourselves some unrealistic expectations. This year, I must. Now we are in September. You can imagine the kind of tension now people are having. This year, I must have a baby. Working day and night, baby is nowhere to be seen. This year, I must marry. Since January up to now, nobody has said hello. Not even asking for your number. But because you had set yourself unrealistic expectation. You see how we have put ourselves in the corner? Struggling now. Why? Because we must do this. But then it is a self-imposed pressure. You see, my colleagues are all driving now. This year I must drive. Let come what? Let come rain. Let come shine. Now, for those of us, even some of us who are even godly, we even said, whether hook or crook, I must. You know? So it puts us in that kind of dilemma, tension. And before we know it, things fall out of hand. Environmental factors, where we live. Some of us are allergic to pollution, overcrowding, weather, and all of that. All that can stress us. Environment. Yeah. Okay. Effects. I can assure all of us who are here, there are so many, but let me just go with these few. Many of our patients come with hypertension, but where's the trigger? Stress. Even some of us, because of the stress, things are going that way. Stomach ulcers, obesity, alcoholism, infertility, marital discord, and many others. Let me say this. Have you noticed that nowadays where you have a pharmacy or you have a clinic, more men are running for boosters? Why? There is a lot of cases of erectile dysfunction in men. Why is it coming so? Stress. Because of stress, Mr. Man is not behaving. And then we say, for us who are believers, we say, no, we shall pray because the Bible says, is there anybody who is sick? Let elders lay hands. We lay hands. With the hope that it will come back to life. But nothing. Stress. Marital discord. Talking from lived experience, I know what it means when you are broke. Let me tell you, when you are broke and there is no money, or something is frustrating you and your mind is not sober, things don't work out. That's why you will ask Madame for socks. Have you seen my socks? The answer will be, where did you put it?
Where do you put it?
And that is if she's a bit nice. If she's a bit rude, she will ask you, with whom do you use it? With. The question goes with the question.
My head.
So, now, I want to come to mental health a bit because stress and mental health, we can't separate the two. Occasional stress to mild distress can happen at any time. Occasionally, you can actually be stressed, which can actually be mild, but sometimes it can actually be severe. And that's why this continuum helps us to understand some few things. Stress can actually become an illness. Because people come with these conditions, you see, doctor, I have this, okay, I have pain here, I have this and that. Do you know some people have ever come to your facilities, they complain of every pain, and you test them and there is no sickness? Yes. And then when they go back, they say, I think this is now witchcraft. This is now witchcraft, this is now so and so responsible. We begin to accuse people innocently when actually the thing is stress. We begin to accuse people innocently when actually it is a mental health crisis. Now, we're aware of this. Where it is red, please, that is not a good place for all of us. We have the normal life to live when things are really normal. And if things are still healthy, please, let's nurture support and lifestyle and we focus. And let's keep it healthy. If there are concerns, there's a trouble sleeping, there's a trouble to sleep, nightmares, food tastes like a glass or grass, food is tasteless to you, something small irritates you, you are sad, you are worried, you have concerns, you keep procrastinating things. I will do it tomorrow. I will do it next week. You have, with the friends, you don't have friends, you decrease your life with the people, you feel tired, you feel low energy. Please, you need the rest, exercise, and learn to some coping skills. We all need the rest. Have you ever had a headache? One side is aching you, but one side is okay? Yeah. And then when you go to rest, when you wake up, what do you get? Do you still get the headache? No. You just need the rest. You're overworking your body. It's not witchcraft. Nobody's after you. Injured area where everything is disturbed, sleep is disturbed, loss of appetite, anger, anything small irritates you, you are very angry fellow, you feel hopeless, you see other people, you look at yourself, you're like, you're not good enough, you begin to have persistent sadness, you are nervous, performance is decreasing, workplace, you are not there. Maybe if you have, some offices where you have coats, you remove your coat, you leave the coat hanging, you disappear. When these issues are having here, you are withdrawing from people, things are out of control, please identify your things that are distressing you and seek for help before things get out of hand. But if things are in the third, when things are now in the area where somebody is ill, unable to fall asleep, even when you are tired, you can't sleep, complete loss of appetite, easily enraged, depressed mood, excessive anxiety, panic attacks, absenteeism, isolation, exhaustion, addiction. Please, you don't only need counseling, you don't only need to have friends, you need psychiatric consultation. You must see a psychiatrist. You need to engage. This morning I shared this in for my friends on WhatsApp. But I said, all of us will live this life, but today being a Sunday, may God help us to take us through. Because all of our batteries can go low. Have you ever had a phone with this kind of battery things? When the battery is excellent, but also when the battery is reading red. I'm using this illustration still here. All of us, this battery of life can hit any of us. If the battery is in a crisis, very anxious, very low mood, you are always absent at work, you're always exhausted, very poor sleep, weight loss, or weight gain, please, we must engage. When you are struggling, you feel anxious, yes, you're depressed, tired, poor performance, poor sleep, poor appetite. You are struggling. If you are surviving, you are worried. You are working very well, but you are worried. You are nervous. Anything small irritates you. You are sad. You have trouble sometimes with the sleep. You are easily distracted, and also you are withdrawn. And there you are only surviving. That's why some things happen to us, and I'm very convinced some of us have even said it, or we've heard people say, after all, I will survive. Yeah. Today I have good news. God did not make you to survive. God made you to thrive and live a fulfilled life. When you're thriving, you're positive, you're calm, performing, sleeping well, eating normally, normal social activities, things are moving. When you are excelling, you're cheerful, joyful, energetic, high performance, also fully realizing your potential. This is where we should all be. You see, one thing this morning we were sharing with some friends, and then we were talking about poverty and then being broke. And then somebody asked, but God says he loves a cheerful giver. How can you give cheerfully when you're broke? Then also, but the more we talked, then I'm like, no, each one gives what they have. But when it comes to giving in a church, you first give yourself before you give any money. Yes, you first give yourself. That's when you can give anything. Otherwise, if we take it literally, we may take it out of context. But the point here is, all of us can struggle. All of us can be in crisis. All of us can survive. All of us can thrive. Above all of us can excel. But my hope is that all of us who are here today, our place is in a place of thriving and excelling. But in case you are surviving, or you are struggling, or you're in a crisis, let's seek for help early, because help is available. So many drivers of stress and mental illnesses in Uganda, so many of them are here. Poverty, unemployment, low standard of living, alcohol and substance use, conflict and wars, pandemics, COVID-19 impact is still here with us. Infections like HIV are still here. Actually, it is actually growing now. It is actually a concern. Natural disasters, floods, landslides, family separation and divorce, marital discord, physical and sexual violence, high academic demands, parenting issues, bullying, and so on. All of these issues can actually trigger stress and mental breakdowns. Where do we find stress? Only two places where stress is resident. One, at home. Two, at your workplace. You see, somebody will say, yeah, you know, when you want to manage stress, you go out, you dance, you go out for fun, go for comedy. So after comedy, where do you go? But my approach for handling stress, hold the bull by the horn. Don't beat around the bush. Hold the bull by the horn. If you are a married person like here, like me, you are stressor. You are number one stressing the trigger is seated in your bedroom. Why? You see, God is smart. God said in Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, it is not good for a man to be alone, and I will make for him a suitable helper. And what we forget as men is that God gives you a helper to help you in your area of weakness. And while he does that, this person who is coming to help you in your area of weakness has their strength as well. So, you have your strength and your weakness, and your strengths are their weaknesses. And their weakness is your strength. For example, if you are somebody who puts your things where you can easily find them, God will give you a spouse who will keep them and arrange them neatly. Can that be true? Yes. If you are somebody who loves spending, God will give you one who manages and wants to save. And if naturally you have verbal diarrhea, God will give you a spouse who is always quiet. For many of you who are very quiet and reserved, God has given you a TV or a radio at home. Natural, so no need to buy a radio or TV. So God works things out. But then what happens is, we want the people to be in our own image and in our own likeness. Forget that we are different. So because we are different, and our personality differences can actually be the biggest trigger. You expect them to work the way you think in your mind, but they're different. So that stresses us. Do you know you can be hungry, your spouse knows there is money here, but say this money is for school fees. And the next week, children are going back to school, so we're not using it. But you're going to sleep hungry. You who loves spending, but the money is here, why can't we first use this one? And then we get another one for school fees. Said, but this is already what is here for school fees. If you love spending anyhow, God gives you one who, whenever she goes to the market, or whenever he goes to the market, he first of all prepares a shopping list. If it is not on the list, don't talk about it. God helps us that way. But to some, that can actually be a big trigger. And then also at workplace. So, how do we move with the two? Number one, at home. Please, your spouse is the most significant source of stress in your house. So, the only way out is endeavor to build a good communicative relationship with your spouse. Talk issues out. Discuss things. And make your decision today not to say anything in anger to your spouse. Even when the opportunity to say it comes. You pray the prayer of that, don't lead me into temptation, but deliver me from evil. Because when you say whatever you say, it might cost you sleepless nights. Because at home, things work out, but also things can break. You support your spouse materially and emotionally and never take them for granted. Because when you support, you see, if you move to communities, because for us we do most of our engagements in our communities. Have you seen in your villages, have you seen people fight from around 9 p.m.? And the fight is without noise, you just hear poo, poo. You just hear, but nobody's saying a word, but you just hear after around midnight. But in the morning, people wake up as if there's nothing that happened. To avoid that kind of fight, support. That's why, honestly, even the Reverend can testify, when Mr. comes with some kavera, that evening, even fellowship will be obvious. Hey, children, come for fellowship. You come for prayer. Let's first pray. And then after prayer, children, now go and sleep. Tomorrow school. Go and sleep. Go and sleep. Go and,
If he doesn't come with the
and then after that, say, I think you seem to be tired. Why can't we go and bathe? Why can't we go and rest now? Okay, you can go and rest. Let me first just not go and bathe. I find you in bed. You know, you prepare. And that day, even there will be nothing like, can we? No, fellowship is obvious. But when you come with just swinging your hands, nothing, day in, day out. Can we? No. And then you will go for referendum. Jikwateko, to jikwatako. Jikwatako, to jikwatako. To avoid that, please. It is obvious. When we support each other materially, emotionally, spiritually, things work out automatically. No need for argument. Now, one thing I want to say is with the confidence for our spouses, for instance, at home. Not every of our spouses have attained the level of academics we've attained. But when we understand and get to know where they can actually also fit in, we can support them and build their vocational courses so that they can excel in whatever they can do with their hands. And when this happens, it becomes easy. So that even as we are working, doctor is saying, now we're going for church. Okay, let's go. We'll meet in church. Go, I will find you. Because you feel ashamed to walk with your spouse. We shall meet there. We shall meet there. I'm still caught up a bit, but you're trying to avoid people asking. But when you build confidence of your spouse, you see, many of our medical doctors, sorry to say, so many of them will hardly introduce their spouse to you, even if they have. You know why? Because they feel ashamed to introduce them to their friends. Maybe based on their academic levels. You know, when some of us fell in love, we didn't consider those things. We just fell in love because we loved each other. Because he was nice, tall, black like me, giant, and that was your dream man. Now, you discover that actually, academically, he didn't go far. Maybe some of you have masters, but your spouses are still a bit low here. So you feel shy to introduce them. But you can actually still build their confidence in one way or the other and help them grow in their vocation, help them grow in their calling, help them grow in their passion so that you build their confidence, so that you feel also proud and you walk. Do you know why children sometimes want you to walk by while holding your hands? They want to feel proud that this is my father. How about for our spouses? Do we feel proud? Maybe, maybe not. I can assure you, your boss is a significant source of stress at your workplace. And if you came here with your boss, I'm sorry, let me say it. But I'm also aware that you didn't come with your boss, so no problem. Why your boss? Because sometimes the expectations of your boss at your workplace sometimes is too way that you cannot even handle expectations. And sometimes, we were talking to teachers in West Nile, and I was sharing with them that sometimes it appears, have you ever cooked pumpkins? Do you sometimes cook here pumpkins? Yes. If somebody gives you spear grass to cook pumpkins, it can be frustrating. There are departments where the boss expects you to cook a pumpkin, but with the spear grass, with the very meager or no resources at all. So then they tell you, improvise. So sometimes it can be challenging. That's the reality. But at workplace, what I can say is learn to do your job well enough to be respected. Do your work well, come early, don't come late. Because broke by choice might work for you. Come early, do your work well, do things at well, and move. Avoid the gossip. Don't involve yourself in unholy discussion about any individual at your workplace, either your boss or your subordinates or your colleagues. It may come back to bite you. Because at the end of the day, when I know at workplaces even we have cliques. We have people who these ones we relate with. We have our group here. We have our cocoon. We have our team. So others cannot enter and you cannot leave. Please, let's avoid gossip. Because teamwork is what we need. I was talking to some group of people and I was telling them, if you're a football fan like me, why Arsenal has never won Champions League? Maybe they're about to win now, if they get serious, is until they learn to play as a team. Even last season, we thought they were taking the Premier League, but they didn't. Why? Many of the players are playing as individuals, not as a team. You have good individual players. You have Saka, you have Odegaard, you have Martinelli, you have this good goalkeeper, but they are individual players. And everybody is trying to play for his own glory, that I am the one here. Do you know why some of them score goals and they knock their chest? I'm the one. You see those you see they run and celebrate and then they hit their chest. I'm the one who has done it. Others will show you their name. I'm the one. Check the name. That one I can assure you, you follow through. You will never hear any trophy. Serious ones. If they are there, these plate ones. These young ones. But for us to be able to accomplish anything, we need everyone. We need a team. We need to work as a teams. Leave work issues at the office. Leave work issues in the hospital, in the health facility where you are working from. Otherwise, if you transfer issues of work to home, things are not going to work out. You know, one of the things is sometimes when we go home, we begin to have our meeting with our spouses. How did the work go? How was the day? You see, that boss of mine, that boss of mine. Oh, you talk ill about this boss of yours, and then the woman listens and then gives you an idea. What did you do? I did nothing. Are you sure? She might come to fight for you. She might come to defend you at your place of work. Or he might even come and defend you at your place of work. How do you dare do this to my spouse? I hear there is this, and it is I hear. And before you know it, it also backfires. You know, women, by nature, they are courageous. So, they will come and fight for you and defend you. And it is even more frustrating. How do we treat? How do we manage? These issues are here with us. How do we handle them? How do we treat? Number one, we have psychological therapy. There are so many different types of psychotherapy, which include supportive therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, psychodynamic therapy, interpersonal therapy, group, couple and family therapy. So many therapy sessions that can be done to be able to address these issues. You see, one thing David says in Psalms 42, and I quote, "As the deer pants for water, so my soul pants for you, Lord." I want to run to verse 3 of Psalms 42. "My tears have been my food day and night, when men continually ask, where is your God?" All of us, sometimes there are things that make us cry. It is only your pillow that understands how much tears they has consumed. Yeah? We go through a lot. But sometimes these issues can only be addressed when there is a psychological treatment. Talking to somebody, talking to your colleagues at work, talking to your spouse, talking to your church leaders, talking to a counselor, talking to a psychologist, talking to somebody who understands these issues. You will be able to be directed well, to be able to handle. Because all of us, like we see here, things can go out of hand. Number two, medicines. Medicines to deal with the mental health crisis. That's why I want to announce to us here, please don't, I know we know these things. Let's not self-medicate. Let's not handle things anyhowly. Because, like I said, stress leads to so many things. That's why stress, anxiety, depression, they are cousins. If you have New King James, Proverbs 13 verse 12 says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. Yeah? Then when you go to Proverbs 12:25 says, anxiety in the heart of man causes depression, but a good word makes it glad. Paul understood these things, and that's why he wrote to the Philippian church and said, please do not be anxious, because he knows the impact of anxiety. He knows. So these things can affect our mental health. So one thing can lead to the other. And all these things are here. Some of us might need medical treatment. Spiritually, we need prayers, fellowship, reading the word, and all that. That's why many people in the Bible who battled stress, who battled depression, who battled different mental illnesses. Actually, many of them are in the Bible. Even Elijah, after calling fire, the next chapter he took off, he became suicidal. After calling fire from heaven. Elijah, after calling fire from heaven, the next chapter, he took off. Why? The wife of the king told him, by this time tomorrow, that head, if it's still on you, the guy became suicidal. Because of threats from the wife of the king. You know, all of us, we can go through crisis, all of us. But the good news is God will always show up. For everyone in the Bible who struggled with these issues, God showed up. Hagar struggled with the mental breakdown. You remember the story where she was chased away from Abraham's house? God showed up. Naomi, God showed up. That's why Naomi said when she heard that God had visited Bethlehem, Judah, she said, let me go back. When Penina was mocking Hannah because of barrenness, God showed up. Everyone in the Bible, Moses, God showed up. Elijah, God showed up. Jeremiah, Jeremiah, even for him, it was worse. He said, I wish I died in my mother's womb as a miscarriage. Read Jeremiah 20. I wish I died in my mother's womb as a miscarriage. Cursed be that man who brought good news to my father that it is a boy. And I was the one. You know, he was venting out his frustration. But I can tell you, many of us, we've used that song in our weddings. Lamentations 3. Jeremiah now says, great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning and morning, new mercies I see. You know?
Thy hand has provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.
Yeah, but where was he coming from? From that kind of, but God came through for him. Jonah ran crazy. He developed a mental breakdown because of jealousy. God told him to go and preach. He refused. He said, let those ones die. They are sinners. When he finally went and preached, I'm sure he preached a very shallow message. All of them got born again. Then he got depressed. Let me announce to you, jealousy is the last class you will always attend before you become a full-time witch. Witch. You cannot be jealous of anybody and you wish them well. Jealousy is such a bad thing. Even in the church, it even happens. This was a man of God, a prophet, who felt those ones were they desired to die. You know. But still God came through for him and God was like, what is wrong with you? Job, God came through for him. King David, all the men in the Bible who struggled, God came through for all of them. And two, God will still come for us. That's why the scripture we read, 1 Peter chapter 5, after we've suffered for a while, it is only you who knows how much that while is. For some of you, the while is maybe 20 years. But says, for a little while. That while for you, it is you who knows. But says, he will himself come through and restore. He will himself come through and make things well again. So, God is faithful. He will still come through. And for some of our colleagues, because the things are severe, we must take them for treatment. I'm glad our colleague from the other facility, right now he's receiving treatment. And I'm sure from there he will recover and bounce back big. One thing that I've been fighting for is to change our policy as far as mental health is concerned in this country. In many departments in public service, when somebody develops mental health problems, they're laid off. That's why this year in May, we camped at the parliament for 1 week, trying to spread the message to the parliamentarians that, please, as you make policies, improve the policies around mental health. Many of you are working from health facilities. The budget for this country in the line with the health, as far as the mental health is concerned, has been 1%. Last year we made the noise. This year they told us we have done something small. But it's still young. But we are grateful. But we continue to advocate for more. In one district in West Nile where I went and engaged the DO, the DHO, the DHO, I was challenging him, then finally he said it is true. In fact, the budget for mental health in our budget is 50,000. Because it's 1%. Yes, in the district, yes. 50,000. So I asked, so this money for mental health is 50,000. So are you going to use it for buying airtime? To call those VHTs or the people around? Because the budget for health, mental health has been 1%. That's why we're making noise. And we're still making more noise. I don't know, in your health facility, the budget for mental health, I don't know what it is. You can go back and check. That's why in many health facilities, because I'm talking from experience, I've moved all of our health centers. At least we've been making noise. From health center 4, at least there is a mental health unit. But the staffing, they'll tell you there's no money. And it's true, there's no money. The drugs, the medications, they are wanting. They'll tell you there's no money. So that's why we are trying to still to push. And I'm glad we are there. We're not giving up. Yeah. But the truth is, mental health crisis is a global crisis. In fact, there is no health without mental health. There's no health without mental health. That's why, if I can just throw here, as who are even seated here right now, we could even be having patients here. Right now, if you are struggling with appetite, there is a problem. Right now, if sleep has refused and you are struggling with the sleep, there is a problem. Right now, if there is too much anger and you don't even know why you're angry, but you are an angry person, there's a problem. And right now, if you feel hopeless, you're not good enough, there's a problem. If you have lost interest in your work, you have lost interest in your department, you have lost interest in the things that you love doing, there's a problem. If you want to stay alone, there is a problem. Nowadays, if going to the bathroom has even become a challenge, there's a problem. Basic personal hygiene. Failing to concentrate on your work is a problem. Unexplained body aches and pains. Having a meeting with yourself. Asking you a question, you answer it, and you... If it is funny, you laugh at it, there is a problem. Hearing voices others don't hear. Seeing things others don't see. Uncoordinated speeches. You are speaking things which are not adding up. Societal risks. Where you want to die, you are talking about how life will be better without you. We struggle with all these things. That's why we're saying, let's seek for help early. As I conclude, psychoeducation is what we need for all our facilities. We need psychoeducation because Bible says, my people perish for lack of information, for lack of knowledge. We need to sensitize our people, let our people know these things. We need psychoeducation. Number 2, we must manage stress at all times and strengthen our social support. That's why I always say when there is support, cases of breakdowns are very minimal. But when there's no support, you feel you are lonely and you're singing a song which I don't want to sing because it's a Sunday, but there's this song which people normally sing, I don't like it. Lonely, I am so lonely, I have nobody. I'm on my own. That's why that kind of song is not good for us. You can't be lonely and want to be lonely. No. Narrative therapy, I talked about it here. Please share your issues. That's why there is a song we normally sing in Lugbara. I don't know it in English, but I'm sure you know it. It is a very good hymn. Ma yo ma enjapiri olo. I don't know that hymn in English. Mangani ochi Yesu driko. Maka yozi eringa fera. You know, that hymn talks about I will open up and share what is challenging me, what is troubling me. I will open up and share it because I know Jesus will come through for me. You know, so narrative therapy. Let's talk these issues out. Psychological treatment, please seek for psychotherapy. Pharmacological treatment, where things are severe, seek for medications. Spiritual treatment, please, prayer moves mountains.